Mr. President, I come to the floor today to join my colleagues in calling for equal pay for equal work for women. I just left the President of the United States. He's right up the street at the Sewell Belmont House. This is the home to the Women's Party, in which so much organizing and strategizing took place to get women the right to vote. The president is up there declaring that building a national monument to commemorate the tremendous work that was involved in getting suffrage. Under the Antiquities Act, that is his right to create that. But it's not only the building that we want to preserve. It's not only the records of the battle for suffrage that we want to preserve and be able to display. It's really what it stands for. The fact that women are included fully in our society. We had to fight every single day in every single way to be able to advance ourselves. Even when the men were here in Philadelphia writing the Constitution, thinking great thoughts and doing great deeds, Abigail Adams was back in New England running the family farm, keeping the family together, and she wrote John a letter saying, "Don't forget the ladies, because if you do, we will ferment our own revolution." Well, in our country, we call revolutions social movements, where people organize, ordinary people organize and mobilize to accomplish great deeds to move democracy forward. It took us over 150 years to get the right to vote in 1920. We're coming up on the anniversary of suffrage. But it's not only that we got the vote, it's what did the vote mean. We wanted to be able to participate fully in our society. We wanted to be able to exercise our voice in terms of choosing leaders who will choose the right policies. And along the way, we've been advocating those policies. And in 1963, working with a president who was committed to civil rights, Lyndon Johnson, the equal pay for equal work was passed as far as the great step forward in 3 major civil rights bills. We thought that we had settled the issue, but oh no, 50 years later, we have only gained 19 cents. 19 cents. And at that rate, it will take us to 2058 to get equal pay for equal work. That's not the way it's got to be. That's the way it shouldn't be. And we need to make sure we eliminate the barriers and impediments that keep that's happening. When we women fight for equal pay, we're often sidelined, redlined, pink-slipped, harassed, or intimidated. We are often said, "Why are you doing this?" And then we're often harassed for doing it. Now, people might say, "Well, Senator Barb, didn't you take care of that when we passed the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act in 2009? What Lilly Ledbetter legislation did, and I'm so proud of what we did, was keep the courthouse doors open so that we kept open the statute of limitations. But now we need to pass legislation to end the loopholes that are often strangleholds on women getting equal pay in the first place. Now, I know that I have legislation pending called the Paycheck Fairness Act. That Paycheck Fairness Act does 3 things. First of all, it stops retaliation for even sharing pay information in the workplace. Right now, if you ask, you're forbidden to tell or get fired. If you ask, you're forbidden to tell or get fired. Or if you are a wonderful man working side by side with a woman and you want her to know that as a nurse, as a computer software as a software engineer, what your pay is, and there's an end, she could get fired, he could get fired. This is wrong. We also want to stop employers for using any reason to pay women less. Oh, he has a better education. Use the same education for the same job. We're willing to compete. We're out there. More women are in college. More women are Phi Beta Kappas. More women are getting ahead. Then we heard, oh, he's got to be paid more because he's the breadwinner. Well, what are we, crumbs? If he wins the bread, we want to be winners too. Very often it is women in the marketplace who are now either the sole breadwinner or also a significant breadwinner. And the men or the partner that they love says, hello, we want you to get equal pay for equal work as well. So we don't want to hear he's a breadwinner. We don't want the crumbs anymore. We want to be paid equal pay for equal work. We also want punitive damages for women who are discriminated against. Back pay alone is not a strong enough deterrent. Now, I want my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to know that they have ideas. One of my colleagues spoke on the floor earlier today. I have such admiration for her. She's a fine senator, and she agrees with the thrust of the press conference we had. We faced this in the past, where we share the same goal, but we differ on means. My means, I must say, are the way forward. These means are the way forward because it solves the problem. Of course, we'll sit down and talk, have conversations, and see what we could do. But at the end of the day, we face this issue. It costs more to be a woman. Women pay more for everything. Women pay more in medical costs than men, sometimes as much given the same age and the same health status. Women pay a significant amount of money for child care, and guess what? We even get charged more for dry cleaning. We have to pay more for our blouses being cleaned than men to have their shirts washed and pressed. Well, we're tired of being taken to the cleaners. We're just tired of being taken to the cleaners. We want equal pay for equal work, and whether we're United States senators, whether we're nurses or executive assistants or others, we want to be paid, and we stand with the women's soccer team. They kick the ball around, but we're tired of being kicked around. So give us equal pay for equal work. Pass the Mikulski by effort here to get equal pay for equal work, and I think we can move the head forward. Why should our women go to the Olympics winning the gold when they don't get paid the gold? So time for a change, time for a difference, and time for seeing what we can do. I now yield the floor.